Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. Broken Chains, Chapter 5, Sora, Day 10. Over the last few days of training, Sora had noticed himself become stronger. He had no way of knowing how strong he was before he lost his memories, but that didn't really matter to him. All he knew was that he needed to keep getting stronger to protect Nominee. Why did he need to protect Nominee again? He couldn't remember. There were those two boys that he fought. Yesterday? The day before? It was hard to keep track now. He cast his gaze around his room, scanning each of Nominee's drawings. He had pinned a few more to the walls, and he thought there may be some missing. One in particular caught his eye. It was a drawing of himself in his coat holding his keyblade. The other boy in the drawing, Riku, his mind supplied after a second, had his particular sword in hand. What caught Sora's attention the most, however, was the expressions. The fact there were expressions in the first place was odd. In each of the other drawings around the room, Nominee drew simple expressions, typically choosing to focus more on the scenery or the action. This was the only drawing Sora knew of where he could see the expressions. He wasn't sure he liked what he saw. Sora's own expression seemed to be that of anger. His eyes were narrowed in concentration, brows furrowed, ready to fight. Riku's own expression. Was that sadness? Sora went closer. Riku's eyebrows were arched up, and it even looked like tears were streaming down his face. His sword was visible, though it wasn't holding his fighting stance. The longer Sora looked at this drawing, the more it made his heart hurt. He knew that he and Riku had grown up with Nominee and her, but were he and Riku still friends? Why did he feel so much hurt? Did Riku want to hurt Nominee? At that thought, Sora stepped back. He had to protect Nominee at all costs, no matter what. Even if it meant fighting his old friend again. He heard a dark corridor open and whisked his gaze from the drawing. The superior stepped through. "I've been impressed with your progress," Melissa said. "Seems to have trained your abilities." Sora gave him a brief nod. "I think it's time to give you your first mission." Sora couldn't help the feel of excitement he felt. This would be his first mission that he could remember, and he wouldn't let the spirit down. But first, let's discuss why we're doing missions. Okay. Sora definitely wasn't expecting that. He was just ready to get out there, and maybe even see a new world. Not so long ago. Oh, about 8 months, I was found by Organization 13. I had only recently become a nobody, but I had no sense of who I was before then. See, like you, I lost my memories. The leader of the organization promised that Should I join him? I would recover my lost memories. It wasn't long after that a former associate and I realized that our leader never actually intended to award our outfits. Instead, he wanted to keep it all for himself. He never actually intended to help me restore my memories. Now, however, I have the ability to do just that, thanks to Nominee. Not only that, with you by my side, we can exact revenge on Jimis and all who stand with him. Sora crossed his arms. Revenge? He didn't even realize that was what he was training for. Just the thought of revenge on anyone made his stomach curl. They didn't know this when he started working for the Superior? How long had he been working for the Superior? What kind of person was he like before he lost his memories? That question shelled him the most. He had no idea who he used to be. Only a name and what Nominee told him. What would Nominee think? He was dimly aware that the Superior was talking, but none of his words made it to his head. Then, it took him a few moments to realize that Malusa had quit speaking and was instead staring at him. Sora blinked and shook his head. It's the same, the Superior said. You have lost your memories, and I still feel strong emotions. Granted, you are, well, mostly whole. Sora wasn't even sure what to say to that. Instead, he tried to focus on what the Superior was saying. To repeat myself, there's a member I would like to recruit into our cause. Number 9, Jimis. Like the element that he controls, he tends to stick to the path of least resistance. You're missing to either stray him to our cause or destroy him. Sora can't help his gaffes. Malusa narrowed his eyes. Superior! He finally asked. Malusa nodded, giving Sora permission to continue. What kind of person was I before? The Superior was silent for a few moments. He seemed to be making some quick decisions. That doesn't matter now. Who you were is no more. You are now the key bearer, chosen to keep down the organization. Sora shook his head. That's not me! He instantly snapped his mouth shut. He had never, that he could remember anyways, spoken out against the Superior. He kept silent and straightened up as he waited to see what Malusa would do. The Superior's expression never changed from that narrow-eyed girl from moments earlier. I see that some of who you were has decided to peek out. Remember, you are not that person anymore. Your role as the Keeper is to take down the evil that is Organization 13. The more Malusa told him, the more questions he had. Who exactly was this organization? Were they really evil? Sora almost didn't notice the Superior speaking to him again. There are times I almost envy you, Keybearer. The ways, the horror you feel, I can almost imagine what emotions are like. But for our purposes, you won't be needing those. Sora's brow raised. I won't need my emotions? We won't turn you into a nobody like myself. You're much more useful as you are. Nominee? Malusa turned and Nominee Vito dropped corridor, eaten from behind. Sora felt his heart pound. Nominee? What are you going to do to me? He couldn't even begin to comprehend the pain that was in his chest. This was Nominee, his best friend, someone he depended on. The girl before him flinched and caught up on herself. I'm so sorry, Sora. I don't want to do this. Malusa sneered. You do it, or I turn you into a dust. Sora didn't know what a dust was, but he was sure Naminé didn't want to get turned into one. He didn't want her to get turned into one either. He saw his feel. He would have to trust that Naminé would still take care of him after this. And that was terrifying. Just do it, Naminé! He found himself saying, no matter what, he didn't want to see her hurt. But when her eyes met his, he knew he had already done just that. Sora had no idea anyone could look this hurt. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she shook her head. Sora took a deep breath and tried to smile. I'll be okay! Your heart's already damaged enough. Naminé responded, her voice barely audible. I don't know what blocking your emotions would do to you. Sora looked to the superior, whose frown had deepened further. He turned his gaze back to Naminé. Please just do it, he said. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't care what happens to me. So long as you're okay. She nodded, a few tears escaping her blue eyes. Sora didn't even think he'd be the cause of so much pain in those eyes. Naminé approached him and placed a hand on his head. I'm sorry, she whispered. And then he was following. Wasis. Day 55. Wasis wasn't sure when he'd be returning to the castle that never was. He figured initially that he'd be there as long as he needed to figure out the secrets of the 13th floor. What he didn't figure, however, was that Kairi would want to go with him. Honestly, he should have expected her to, since she was adventurous as Sora and Riku, and Sora had left her behind when he faced Ansem. I don't want to have to worry about you, Wasis had told her. That's okay. You don't need to. She replied to Sue's raspberry and explained that it had taught her magic. Wasis hoped she was right. He was still learning how to fight with his own and Sora's fighting styles. Though they were similar, Wasis had delivered his own before he gained Sora's memories. It was definitely strange. Entering Castle Oblivion, he had clear memories of pushing open the giant drawers, conversation with Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy. Wasis hoped they were okay. It was obvious it was something else entirely for him to experience. Not with Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy. So far, so good. No headaches. Wasis hoped it would stay that way. Now that he was here, he didn't know if they'd be able to unravel the secrets. That didn't mean they couldn't try anyway. With that, he pushed open the door. Naminé sat with her cess pad in her lap. There were only a few lines haphazardly stretched across it. Her crown was in her hand, but she couldn't find any strength to lift it. Her eyes were instead on the pad before her. Sora floated inside, his coat billowing around him as if he were underwater. Could she even call him so anymore? She was taking more of what made him, well, him, and see what he'd taken his memories. Now that she was taking his emotions, what could be left of him? A dark corridor opened behind her. Malu said to have been coming to check on her process. She couldn't make her clan make contact with the paper. He wouldn't be pleased about her process, or lack thereof. You made some interesting choices. A voice that definitely wasn't Melissa's said. Naminé didn't bother turning her head. She felt herself tense. I didn't have a choice, asshole. She forced herself to answer. Asshole chuckled, though it was hollow. It wasn't a real laugh like Sora's. You know, Sora would tell you differently. He told me to do it, Nominee said. Her grip on her crown tightened. She was almost sure it was going to break. Melusa would have killed him. You don't know that, Asshole retorted. If you're so sure your hero wouldn't have beaten the bad guy, well, you don't trust him all that much, do you? Nominee was silent. Did she trust Sora? She trusted, hoped that he would come to rescue her from Melusa and Marcin. And then they had backed her into a corner. She had shattered his memories. He told her to do it. She remembered one fleeting thought she had right before doing it. She thought about trying to get away from Melusa, but she'd been too sailed. And she was sailed now. The silence between them was deafening. It felt like forever before Asshole spoke again. Wasis and Kyrie are here. Nominee dropped her crown. She couldn't feel herself shaking. If he sees them, I don't know how he handled it. He already has a hard time hearing her name. You're her shadow, though. You've been through all his memories. Don't you think she do everything she can? Nominee couldn't argue with that. If only she had just half of the determination her other had. So, Asshole said, what are you going to do about it? Her breath caught. Asshole never ceased to confuse her. She never knew where his intention lay. What exactly did he want her to do? What did she want to do? She wasn't sure how to answer that. She thought she knew when Sora was still 4 years below, on his way to rescue her. But now that he was here, and it was her fault he was like this anyways, I want to make things right, she finally said. Asshole was silent for a moment. How would you go about doing that? Nani ran things over in her mind. She had broken the chains of memories in Sora's heart. Just because the chains were broken, however, didn't mean that they couldn't be mended. She would need Wasis, though. No doubt, Sora memories had followed an almost invisible chain straight to his known body. She would need his help later. His and Kylie's. She hadn't dreamt she would ever meet her. She thought Castle Rain was all that she would ever know. She felt that. Once Melissa and Marcin had finished with her, she would disappear. Kylie was the key to Sora losing his memories. Maybe she could be the key to Emily restoring them. With that realization, genres of ideas and plans flipped through her head until she settled on one she thought could work. Nominate would need for all the white dominoes to fall into place. Kylie would have to be the first one. Decision set, she picked her crayon from the floor and began drawing. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, you know, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!